Welcome back, everybody, to the Kansas City Royals franchise here in MLB The Show 21. Guys, we have spring training action here for you today. Year number 2 is underway. Brady Singer taking the mound, feeling confident, feeling dangerous, feeling nasty out there for year number 2, ready to take the next step in this series. But the first pitch, even, for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. I don't know what's going on here with Tyler Naquin out there at right field to Whit Merrifield, but throw to the cutoff, they said. Throw to the cutoff, and just a little flip there. But Brady Singer so far, yeah, I mean, doing all right. Here's a little flip from Javier Baez at third base. Going to turn the double play. Yeah, this Royals infield, man. I'm excited about this Royals infield. I'm really, really excited. You got Salvi back there at catcher, Gold Glove caliber defender back there. You got Whit Merrifield, who's a solid defender there too. Mondesi and Baez on the left side, and McBroom at first base. Should be a good season all the way around in the infield. Taking on Justin Verlander here. He's already got one quick out, but at the wall, there's a jump, there's a leap, but to no avail. Joey Gallo is not going to catch this one. This is Andrew Benintendi getting a solo shot here early in the spring. Gotta love that. Andrew Benintendi, one of the most underrated hitters in this game, at least so I feel like. I really love hitting with Andrew Benintendi. I also like hitting with Jorge Soler, even though I might not hit a lot of home runs with him. But we can get some triples from this guy, right? Nope, just kidding. Because Joey Gallo has just got an absolute gun out there in right field. But nice little relay throw all the way around. Probably just should have swiped the bag on the outside versus the inside. That was a user error on my part. But Nate Lowe steps up and hits a solo shot off a Singer here in the top of the second, and they tie the game back up. So Singer's got to be a little bit better here. I know he might be working on some things, right? Just throwing the same pitch back to back to back. Some guys do that. Some guys just go into their starts just literally saying, I need to work on my curveball, I need to work on my fastball, yada, yada, yada. And that's what happens. They just give up a lot of runs, but they need to work on stuff. That's what happens in the spring. Salvi working on the batting average from last season, hit like 201 or something. Either way, no signs of the struggle bus so far for Salvi. He's going to hit a solo home run here off of JV, and it's now 2-1. Baez comes up, his first at-bat. He's going to strike out, but Tyler Naquin says, let's go opposite field, but David Dahl says, no thanks. I'm going to make this catch. I'm going to make a really nice running grab here and get you out. Chad Kuhl is going to replace Brady Singer, and he gives up a base hit. One of his first pitches thrown here in the first batter. But we do get a double play ball opportunity here. Nice little flip from Witt to Mondesi, back over to O'Hearn at first. And then we have Nick Solak getting a single back up the middle. Little flare job right there, just right past the middle infielders to get a 2-out single. Here's Willie Calhoun, and we get a ground ball back to O'Hearn. Steps on the bag, just a nice little quick play there. Going to get the out. Chad Kuhl still out there in the top of the fourth inning. He's going to strike out Joey Gallo. That was a big out to get. And with a couple lefties coming up, we say, Chris Bubich, this is a perfect opportunity for you to get some work in and get some outs up on the board here. Nice play by O'Hearn. Good job by Bubich to be athletic and run to the bag and get the out. Next batter up, David Dahl. Another lefty. 3 straight lefties. Good, perfect time to use Bubich as a lefty specialist. Bullpen call for Arihara, going to check in. He's going to strike out Jorge Soler. And then Salvi comes up, and what a play by Josh Young. Holy cow. That looked like a base knock easy for Salvi Perez, but that's a great play defensively. And then Javi Baez, the next batter up, is going to go line drive off of Arihara's legs. He's going to get checked out here at the mound, but he's okay. And you guys know that play baseball, how this stuff works, right? So you hit the pitcher, baseball gods are trying to get back at you then, right? So bad karma. We take Javi Baez out of the game in replacement of Eric Mejia. So a little bit more speed. And I'm not going to get Javi Baez running down the baseline getting a hamstring injury in the first game of spring training, right? Well, look at this. David freaking Dahl, man. He's like a magnet out there in left field when it comes to Tyler Naquin making contact, trying to go the opposite field. It's unbelievable. This guy continues to hit out there. He's got 2 hits out there to line drive variety. And David Dahl just makes insane plays out there. Just read and react perfectly. It's insane. Mass substitution all the way around here for Chris Bubich in the top of the 5th. We got Sergio Alvarado going to strike out again And so far, so good. We're limiting this youngster. Oh, man. It's a terrible thing to say right when Josh Young is hitting, right? God, I did not even mean to do that. But Alvarado going to strike out as the youngster, and Josh Young hits double. This is just how this works, though. This is just how it works. But we will replace Bubic for Chance Adams, and he gives up a single. Now runners on the corners here. Nicky Lopez almost made that play, which would have been an insane play, but nonetheless just came up just a little bit short. Javier Baez is going to make this play, make it look easy. And then Colby Allard comes on up here, and Kyle Isbell going to line out to center. It's Adolis Garcia out there in center field for the first out of the bottom of the 5th inning. Mondesi going to single up the middle. That one kind of took a weird hop right off the mound. And now we have Bubba Starling, who checked in, and he's going to hit this one out to left field. Is this going to find David Dahl, the Magnets glove? No, it's going to go over the wall, and Bubba Starling is going to check in with a ground rule double. Gotta love to see it here. Jorge Soler comes up in a tough spot, and that's a good pitch. A slider high and inside. That's a very tough one to react to, but he gets the strikeout, and the Royals are done in their half of the inning. Joey Gallo going to strike out here against Chance Adams. Nate Lowe going to pop it up in the infield, and nobody else is going to get in there, not in time at least. You never want the pitcher to take those plays, but nobody else is doing it. They couldn't get there. So, Adams, you got to take charge, right? He makes the play, and we're out of the inning. Next up is Mabers Valoria in the bottom of the 6th, and Joey Gallo out there in right makes the play. Eric Mejia comes up and sends a nice reaction there. High and inside fastball, just took it, just pulled it right past the second baseman and first baseman line. Had a little gap there, but what a play here, though. What a play there by Nate Lowe. They're going to get the double play. We still can't scratch across any extra runs here. Richard Lovelady, the lefty, going to check in the top of the 7th inning. That's a good play at short. And we get the first out of the inning. Adolis Garcia going to send a high fly ball deep to left. Got a little carry to it, but just stopped inside that warning track. So Lovelady kind of flirting. Lovelady flirting. Yeah, the puns are wild, man. The puns are wild today. Flirts with danger. But next batter up, Tyler Naquin draws a walk. Yes. Good job. Good job. Kyle Isbell going to come up. Gets a single back up the middle. We were thinking about testing Garcia's arm in center. I don't know if we would have made it safely or not, but cooler heads had prevailed on that decision there, so we're going to keep him hanging out there at second base. Now we do pinch hit for Hanser Alberto with that 98 contact against lefties, and again, a great play in left field. It's just these Rangers out here in the outfield, they're just making insane plays in the field, man. That's Jason Martin out there in left. But Bubba Starling comes up with runners on the corners. He didn't want to hit a ground ball for a double play op, and he gets a single back up the middle. That's going to reset the situation. Runners on the corners again. That's going to extend the lead now to 3-1. Nicky Lopez comes up and strikes out at a bad pitch. Bad pitch, man. Can't do it. Slider, it's a tough one, but we do it anyway. We offer. Next up, that's Jorge Soler. Ground ball. Kiner Falefa. What are you doing? You had time at first. Soler's not even a fast runner. I know that the momentum's taking you the other way, but dude, you had a play at first, man. So don't compound the errors. So Soler's going to get an RBI. Mabry's Valoria comes up and gets a single, and now it's 5-1. Eric Mejia comes up, hits a ground ball to Josh Young, makes the play over at second base. Maybe the semi-easy play there for the easy out. I probably would have gone to first, but that's just me. Maybe that's why I'm an outfielder and not an infielder by trade. Next batter up is going to be Kyle Isbell, and he gets a single after Edward Olivares gets a single. Joey Gallo going to fire it here to the cutoff man, but they don't even get the throw off. And that's going to be an RBI double for Kyle Isbell. Next batter up is going to be a little looper over Josh Young's head. That's going to be Bubba Starling, and he takes a hard turn. He took a hard 90, even rounded it looking for 2. Probably the better decision there, though. He probably would have gotten gunned out for sure. Evan Mendoza going to check in as a pinch hitter. He's going to send a long, deep fly ball. That pitch was right down the middle. Just missed it a little bit. Probably would have been a home run, but Jason Martin going to make the play at the warning track. And we get to the top of the ninth. We'll jump ahead a little bit. Josh Stalmont going to get 2 quick outs. And the third is going to go to Ryan O'Hearn at first base, guys. And that is going to do it. The Kansas City Royals get a nice win. First game of spring training, everything looked pretty complete. This team looks complete. At least that's the way it felt. We had 16 hits, 7 runs. I like the way that the team played, really. Like, controller in my hand, different spots with different players. I felt like we could do a whole bunch of different things as far as strategy goes, as far as what I wanted to do with matchups and whatnot. But obviously, that's easy to do when you've got a 40-man roster to play with, right? Guys do a whole bunch of things well. Some of the guys have some weaknesses, and then you just play the matchups, right? It's easy to do when you got 40 guys. It's a little different when you got 26. But let's take a look at this Cleveland Indians matchup, a intra-divisional matchup in the AL Central. Spring training, of course. But Whit Merrifield going to get on here with a 2-out ground rule double. Soler comes up, strikes out. We're taking on Aaron Savali, by the way, guys, so we're going to probably see him quite often here in year number 2, but we'll try to time him up, get used to him, see if we can make him pay, take those slow curveballs over the fence, right? James Paxton looking pretty solid here already. Got a nice ground ball to Javier Baez, gets a strikeout here, little ground ball up the middle. Whoa! Whit Merrifield, what a play! Wow, he was all the way up the middle. In the outfield grass in center field, he still made that play, but take a look here. Over the fence. Ryan O'Hearn, that had to feel good. That feels good for me. I want to hit well with Ryan O'Hearn this season. I want him to be a big bat in our offense. Eddie Rosario just missed it. He just missed it. Probably would have been caught on any other opportunity, but we're going to take that for a home run, a solo shot. Bubba Starling continues to stay hot in spring training. This is game number 2. You guys need me to let you know where we're at here. This is game number 2, so he's continuing to build off that game 1 performance. Salvador Perez does get the runner move over. Starling's going to score here after Evan Mendoza comes through with a RBI single back up the middle, and that will do it for that inning. Let's jump to the bottom of the second inning here. We got a runner on second base, and this throw from Kyle Isbell in center field not going to be in time, and the run's going to score. So Cleveland cuts the lead in half here. James Paxton does get out of it as he strikes out Jordan Luplow to end the inning. Let's go to the top of the third with an 0-2 count. Javi Baez leading us off, sends a long, deep fly ball. That's gone. Oh yeah, it's 3-0. Javi, El Mago, the magician. I love that. I love that. That feels good, man. I feel like I was trying to do a little too much with him in game number 1, so this really felt good to do this in the top of the third inning, kind of get that monkey off the back a little bit, get that home run, start getting used to his hitting style and his PCI and where you need to locate some things, right? Speaking of location, Carlos Hernandez giving up a home run here to Franmil Reyes, a solo shot, make it 3-2. Does make this play, though. 1 plant and fire. Gotta love that PFP, pitcher's fielding practice, but he's going to get a walk here with 2 down, and then Jordan Luplow, a little ground ball here to short. Baez makes the throw. I love that little gather that he had, too. He knew he was going to make the throw. He knew he was going to get you out, but he wanted to make you run for it at least a little bit. Kind of like teasing you a little bit. So Luplow barreling down the line. He still gets him out. Baez gets a single, and he's going to take off running, and Soler just drops it right in front of Franmil Reyes and right down the line. Baez makes it all the way to third. Now Ryan O'Hearn comes up and gets a base knock right past second base. Reyes is not going to get that throw in time with Javi at third. He's going to score. It's now 4-2. And Bubba Starling has been hitting the cover off the baseball, but he does hit it right at left fielder Eddie Rosario. Thought about moving Soler over to third, but he's kind of slow there with that 40-plus speed. Just didn't feel like he was going to make it there. And Maybreeze Valorias sends a curveball all the way deep to center field, and we've got Scott Barlow checking in the very next inning. So let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning as we can't scratch across any more runs. And the top half We do have a stolen base for Cleveland. Next batter up with one down. Valoria looks like he's going to make this play. Whoa. Little user error there, my friends. Little user error there, but Valoria kind of saves me with that one, and he makes the play. So Jose Ramirez is going to strike out as Barlow gets out of the little mini jam. We've got the next batter up. That's Evan Mendoza, and Jordan Luplow had a heck of an effort, but take a look at Mendoza's hustle. He slides in safely head first into second. Isbell lines it back up the middle. This throw coming in from Luplow is not going to be in time. Mendoza hustles into second. He hustles from second all the way home. That run had to be credited to Mendoza. I know that Isbell drove it in, but man, that run definitely credited to Mendoza's hustle. But that run also goes back to Cleveland as they hit another home run, another solo shot here for Franmil Reyes, and we get out of the inning here with the next batter. But man, oh man, Cleveland just not going away here in this spring training game. Ryan O'Hearn going to get hit by Nick Whitgren, and again, Bubba Starling, man, he's in game one, he found a bunch of gaps, found a bunch of holes, getting a bunch of base hits, but in this one, finding everybody's glove, hitting it right at people. Pull side, opposite side, doesn't matter where he's hitting it, he's just finding gloves. Mabry's Valoria gets a single. We got runners on first and second. Mendoza's going to strike out. Now Kyle Isbell up again, and a little ground ball here to short, little flip, and we're out of the inning. Let's jump all the way to the bottom of the seventh, guys, as Luplow going to strike out against Scott Barlow again. And by when I mean again, I mean Jordan Luplow's 0 for 3 with 2 Ks on the day. Lacey's going to check in now, and we have an opportunity to make a highlight reel play, but this is not going to get it done. Edward Olivares can't clutch up and make the catch. It's going to be a 2-out double here for Cleveland. And with the next batter up, that's Harold Ramirez as he pinch hits to go up against the lefty Lacey. He does hit lefties very well. And now we've got Tyler Krieger, another righty that is pretty decent against lefties, but a wild pitch. Valoria can't handle it, can't corral it, and runners will advance. So we're in a little bit of a dire situation here, and a deep fly ball to left, but this one is going to be caught. Just didn't have enough juice behind it. Olivares makes the play. Now let's take a look here in the top of the 8th inning. Phil Mayton against Javier Baez. Is it going to stay fair? He's trying to will it to stay fair. It's not going to. It just went foul. Probably a good pitch here, you know, after you went high and inside to go low and away, and a guy that almost took you deep. Baez going to ground out for the first out of the inning. Second out comes off the bat of Nicky Lopez, and we're going to the bottom of the 9th inning, guys, with already 2 down. Kyle Zimmer does a job, and Cleveland will lose to Kansas City. Good win by KC. Got another win. James Paxton was solid. We'll take a look at his numbers at the end of the box score here, but 11 hits for us, 5 runs, 8 hits for Cleveland, 3 runs, and 1 lone error. And James Paxton went 2 innings. He was solid, guys. I like how this Royals team's coming together. I like what we've got going on for us. I really like hitting with all of our guys. I think everybody's doing really well hitting wise. I might have to tone down the sliders going into the regular season, but you know, maybe that's up to you guys. I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to see me have more of a challenge here. But Javier Baez against his former club, the Chicago Cubs. This will be the last spring training game that we see, so a 3-game special here for you guys today. Trying to get a good feel for the Royals players before we get into some simulation here. I wanted to really test out Johnny Cueto, James Paxton. I wanted you guys to see some gameplay with Baez rather than just one game. And I definitely wanted to have you guys see our new starting pitching acquisitions, get a little bullpen idea of what these guys are doing and how we're going to play with them. That's really what it comes down to, because we're going to be playing a lot of games with these guys, and I want to make sure I get a good feel for them heading into the regular season. But so far, so good. No runs here for Chicago, but take a look at this play by Javi. Woo! Gotta love it. We had the shift on and everything, and he still ran to his opposite side and made the play. Now Salvador Perez is starting here today, Got the day off yesterday, but he's going to send this line drive all the way to the wall. What a play. Just he had a little bit of a jump there. Just a little bit of a jump. Made the play at the wall. Hats off to you, man. Hats off to you. Made the play. So far, so good for Johnny Cueto. He is through 3 innings without giving up a single base hit. So now let's check on Kyle Hendricks against Javier Baez. 0-2 count. Could drop in. Nope. That's going to be caught. Right in between center fielder. That's a good play at second, man. You got to give your hats off. But take a look at Chris Bryant trying to make a jump throw here. Whit Merrifield, good hustle. Next batter up would be Salvador Perez. He's going to send a ground ball. Hot shot here to short, but good hustle by Whit Merrifield to avoid the double play. And now that's going to lead to a Ryan O'Hearn 2-run shot. Dude, I got to say, I underestimated Ryan O'Hearn's power, man. I love hitting with this guy. I really do. He's going to have a huge year in year number 2 for this Royals team, man. I can feel it. Brady Singer going to check in here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and he hangs a curveball. Hangs a slider. Could have been either or, man. Could have been either or. Hangs it. Corey Seager hits a moonshot. 108 exit velo. Yeah, that one got out in a hurry. 445 feet, and he made sure to know about it, man. Made sure that Singer knew about it as he stared it down, watched it fly. But the reason I got Singer in here with 2 days rest is not only was his energy level pretty solid, but I did want to practice with him because he does have a lot of movement on his sinker and his changeup. So that's just something I want to practice with him on because I feel like I'm going to pitch with him a lot this season. But those 2 runs are going to be negated here as in the top of the 5th inning, we got Braylon Marquez against Michael Taylor, lefty on righty, and Michael Taylor says, "Get out, ball." 104 exit velo. He crushed this one too. Next inning, top of the 6th, Salvi says, "Let's get home run number 2 on the spring for me." He checks in here. He didn't play last night against the Indians, so he plays here against the Cubbies. Hits a solo home run against Alec Mills. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning. So the very next inning, we got Corey Seager up with nobody on. He's going to swing and a miss as Asa Lacy strikes him out. Sam Hench is going to check in to face a lefty, but we decide to pull a fast one on the Cubs, and we put in Ryan McBroom, who mashes against left-handers. I love that we did this for Ryan McBroom. I love it. I want to see this translate into the regular season, guys. This platoon type of job with McBroom and O'Hearn, even as a pinch hitter for either of those guys. Any situation that you get in, I want to play those matchups. I want to definitely play those matchups with those 2 first basemen. At the very least, it'll cause some consistency at the first base position in the batting order. However, Richard Lovelady checks in, guys. It's a 5-2 game, but no longer. It's 5-4. Trace Thompson hits a 2-run shot. Now, I was pitching really good with Lovelady in game number 1. I thought that we were going to continue that success, and then he gives up the 2-run bomb. So that kind of sucks for him, but he makes a nice throw here to get the 3rd out of the inning. Now we've got Dakota Chalmers checking in, and Hunter Dozier gets in on the home run party. A 6-4 solo shot. That's his first on the spring training season. And as you guys know, we will be doing a spring training simulation. So we're going to get through spring training. We're going to preview the rosters and whatnot. And I feel good about it, man. We're 3-0 to start spring. Obviously, we'll simulate the rest of the month of spring training, and we'll see where this team stands. But I really like the way that this team's coming together. I like our players. I like our system. I like what we're doing. But let's get into the sim. So gameplay is one thing. Simulation is a totally different animal. And right now, I'm really liking the way that this Royals lineup is playing for me. The pitching staff seems pretty solid. The bullpen seems pretty solid too. But we are working with a 40-man roster right now for spring training, so it is a little bit easier to do some mixing and matching and play the matchups and really have your guys in certain spots that utilize their strengths. So the idea for spring training, at least in these first 3 games that I showed you guys today, was I really wanted to see what players I'm really comfortable with and what players I play well with in certain situations. So that's really going to determine for me which guys we call up to the big league roster when spring hits, when opening day hits. But we can't play every single spring training game. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. And I don't think that you guys necessarily want to see every spring training game. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate all the way up until the 29th. We'll get a little stats update, see who's doing what, and then we can kind of make a decision on who is going to get the call for the big league club. Let's go ahead and simulate all the way to Milwaukee, so March 29th. So we did not do very well. We didn't do very well. I saw some green here, and I thought, oh, yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. But a 4-0 loss, 8-0 loss, 1-0 loss, 5-1 loss. We got a 4-2 win there, 5-2 win here, but 12-3. Man, we just it wasn't looking good, man. It was not looking good. But let's get a little update here with our guys and see who's doing what. So Adalberto Mondesi, dude, 5 home runs this spring. That's pretty darn good. Javi was actually hitting 360 some odd, and he's now knocked down to 233, but 3 home runs, 6 ribbies. Now Whit Merrifield, no homers, but 329. 6 homers for Jorge Soler. We'll take that. 250 batting average. 230 for Salvador Perez. I have both of his home runs in the spring, so that's kind of disappointing. Again, the CPU, just for whatever reason, it will not hit with Salvador Perez. I don't understand it, so that kind of sucks. But Ryan O'Hearn is destroying baseballs. 6 home runs, 16 ribbies, 300 batting average right now. And I was hoping to see a little bit of progression there. I don't know if that hits a little bit later, but we got Tyler Naquin doing 176, so it looks like he's going to get to a bench role if he keeps performing like that. Andrew Benintendi, 351. I think he's made a case that he might be our right fielder. We've also got Michael Taylor, 333, 2 homers, 9 ribbies. And the reason I say Tyler Naquin is probably headed towards a bench role and Benintendi's looking like he's going to be our right fielder is because when you look at the fielding numbers here, 69 fielding, 53 arm, 73 reaction, right? That's obviously better than Jorge Soler. Obviously, Soler's got the better arm of the two, 67 compared to 53. But Benintendi's better reaction, better fielding. Obviously, Tyler Naquin's really good at fielding, right? So that's kind of the drawback there a little bit with Naquin. With CPU especially, he's going to hit you about 220, 230. Like I mentioned in one of the episodes a long time ago, we really hope that Tyler Naquin can kind of get you 250, maybe 270 on a really breakout year of 270 for him. But kind of getting a little crowded with the outfield situation. We got to find a replacement out there for right fielder Jorge Soler. He's going to be our DH, so right field has basically been an open job. And we see Michael Taylor again. He's got center field on lockdown. We've got Kelvin Gutierrez with 5 ABs. Hunter Dozier, 286 with 35 at-bats, only 1 homer, 1 ribby. But the batting average is there, half the sample size between him and Naquin. Maybe Hunter Dozier's your right fielder, right? So, but then that means Benintendi's, where's he going to play, right? So kind of Hunter Dozier's my odd man out in this situation. You could have that battle. You know, Benintendi and Dozier, Naquin and Dozier, Naquin, Benintendi. These are just some things I'm thinking about here. But Hanser Alberto, 200 batting average. That's not good. Nicky Lopez, 154. That's not good either. But 286 for Mejia. He's playing well. Mick Broom's got 3 homers, 4 ribbies, 227. I think he's just our backup first baseman at this point. Mabrys Valoria. It's kind of depressing to see this stat here because he was hitting about 280 with me. I'm comfortable with him. I just, I'd like to see him produce with the CPU, but he'll produce as long as I'm taking control of him. But, when we see the statistics here, it's not good because most of our games they're going to be simmed. They're going to be simmed, so that's a little disappointing. But Evan Mendoza, 8 at-bats, 375 batting average. With his rating and not a lot of playing time to be had for him, he's going to be stuck down in AAA. That's where I really see him playing, and I think that's just what's best for him. But Kyle Isbell, 212, he's going to be. He was vying for a potential backup job on the bench here, but I don't think that's going to pan out for him. 212 batting average. And Bubba Starling, I think Bubba Starling is the guy that won the job. I think he won the job, guys. I felt really comfortable with hitting with him. Obviously, the arm and the fielding, that's going to give us a nice defensive replacement in later innings if we really feel like we need it. So I'm going to keep Bubba Starling on the roster. I really like hitting with him. I think he's going to be pretty solid, a little solid piece off the bench. Not too bad hitting. I can hit well with him, plus that good defense. I think that's going to give us a lot of value there. MJ Melendez, obviously, he's going to be down in AAA. And Edward Olivares, down in AAA too, had the lone RBI, the one RBI in gameplay with yours truly. And that's going to round out the bench. So I think we've really locked it down. We know who our bench guys are going to be, right? Dozier's going to be here. Alberto's going to be here. The decision between Nicky Lopez or Mejia can just go down to AAA again and continue to get better. But, you know, I thought he outplayed him. But maybe I can give that call to you guys. But McBroom's going to be the backup first baseman. Valoria's going to be the backup catcher. Isbel, Mendoza, Melendez, Olivares, those are going to be down in AAA. And I think Bubba Starlin's going to win the backup outfield job, along with Hunter Dozier, who can do a little bit of everything. So let's go take a look at the pitching staff now. I'm anxious to see what everybody else did here. So we got Brady Singer, 3-3 in the spring, 32 innings, 4.75, 1.25. That's about what I expect from Brady Singer. Now James Paxton went 25 1/3 with 15 Ks, 3.20, and a 1.58. That's acceptable. And then Johnny Cueto not striking out a bunch of people, but he's getting it done. He went 23 innings, 3.13, and a 1.09. He's kind of getting a little bit of rejuvenation here with the Kansas City Royals. Now, Daniel Lynch. Tough spring for Daniel Lynch. I was really hoping he would take a next step with a 7.7, 1.76 ERA. Not good, man. And then Brad Keller, we signed him to a couple more seasons, right? He's got 2 more years. 8.05, 1.89 in 19 innings. Not good. Now, Chris Bubich, out of the bullpen, 11 1/3, 5 Ks, 1.59, 1.41. Jackson Kowar, decent, 8 1/3, 4.32. Jacob Junis was great. I'm almost thinking that Jacob Junis has won a starting job. I mean, we consider his numbers to Brad Keller's numbers, and then, I mean, we even look at Junis' stats. 4.61 with a 1.30 with 6 quality starts in last season. Had 54 games, 13 games that he started. 13, think about this. 13 games he started, he gave us 6 quality starts. So over, well, a little under half of all of his starts were a quality start. 125 strikeouts, 52 walks. I think Jacob Junis probably has earned a starting role. I mean, looking at the overall ratings, if you're just basing on that, like 74 to 75 is nothing, right? And we just look at the break comparison to Keller, 99 to 98. You got the stamina's the same, 80-80. Obviously, the home run ball, Keller has him beat there by a lot, 84 to 59. But look at the walks per 9. 75 walks per 9 for Jacob Junis. 60 K per 9. 63 hits per 9. So overall, you know, Junis just seems like he's got it together a little bit more. So that's the move we're going to make. Jacob Junis is going to be the number 5 starter. And then depending on what we want to do with Daniel Lynch, like he just doesn't, he's not getting it done for us. But let's take a look at some other guys here. We already looked at Jackson Kowar. Scott Barlow was good in the spring, I thought. Asa Lacy could be a replacement here for Daniel Lynch. Daniel Lynch used to be a top 50 prospect, but I don't think they're classifying him as a prospect any longer with his service time, 1 year of service time. But Lacy was good out of the pen too, 16 2/3, 13 Ks, 2.70, under a 1 whip. And we just take a look at the comparisons here. They're pretty similar all the way around. They're very similar. Stamina is about the same, velocity is about the same, control is about the same, break, walks per 9. Lynch has him beat by a couple points. Home runs per 9, K per 9s are exactly the same. Hits per 9, the whole thing, the whole circle, guys, the whole circle. I'm feeling like Lacy earned the job, unless of course you want to play favorites and you're one of those managers that say no, talent is talent. Stick Daniel Lynch in there until he proves you wrong. We could do that. We could run it like that as well. So it's a long season, right? But Asa Lacy definitely is going to be a part of our team. He's not going back down to AAA. I don't want him back down there. I think he's going to be a good addition out of the pen for us if that's the route we want to take. So we'll have to figure out how this is all going to work with the 26-man roster, because I do want to keep some hitters, and I got to figure out what pitchers we're going to drop. But Chance Adams wasn't that good. 12 innings, 9 earned runs, or 9 ERA, I should say, 2.17. Carlos Hernandez was decent. I don't think that that's good enough to win a job. Josh Stalmont, 135, 105. Didn't get used a whole lot. Anthony Swarzak probably going to be the guy that gets out of this bullpen in favor of Lacy. Kyle Zimmer was awesome. 7 1/3 innings pitched, 7 Ks, 123.55. Scott Blewett only went 2/3 of an inning, so that's just not enough. I thought I pitched well with Richard Lovelady, but him being a 63, he needs to progress a little bit more with that B potential. I think he can do that. Chad Kuhl didn't get used a whole lot either. Got a little work in, and Evan Steele just didn't get used at all. Guys, so a little bit of a quick tip here. Once you get into your last game of spring training and you simulate it, you can actually go in and move your guys down and up, and they don't use their minor league options. So just so you know that, because I did move MJ Melendez down. He was on our spring training team, and I moved him down. He still had 3 left to go, so we didn't have to use it. So it's perfect. Mejia, for example, here too. So he's got 3. I'm going to move him down to AAA, and he's got 3 there. So just a little quick tip. I know I mentioned earlier that I would give it up to a vote for you guys, but I think it's just obvious. I think Nicky Lopez just has to be the second baseman up here for backup for Whit Merrifield. So we got to make a call. We got to call down one guy. It's got to be a 26-man roster. And it's tough, really tough, because your starting rotation is going to look like Singer, Paxton, Cueto. There's your 3. Lacy's going to be your number 5. And Junis is going to be your number 4. So that's going to be the starting rotation, which means Keller, Lynch, Bubic, Kowar, Zimmer, and Barlow. We're going to have 6 relievers at that point. The tough call here is we've also got Stalmont in the pen as well. We've got our 2 catcher system, Perez and Valoria. Got our 2 first baseman system in the platoon situation with O'Hearn and McBroom. Second baseman Merrifield, backup Nicky Lopez. Dozier, Alberto. Dozier's going to do kind of Mr. Utility job here. Can play the outfield, can play first, can play third. Can do all the corner stuff there. You got Mondesi Baez. Baez is going to be our third baseman this season. And Benintendi, Taylor, Naquin, and Starling, who I love to hit with, and that defense is so hard to say, nope, Bubba, you're 28, you're 69 overall, you had a good spring, but no, we're going to continue to deny your opportunities as a big league player. It's tough, man. I think he's earned it. I think he's earned that backup outfield job as a defensive specialist. And then you've got Jorge Soler, obviously. So I would like to think that our offense is set. Offense, defense, our positional players are set. However, knowing that Hunter Dozier can play those corner spots, first, third, left, right, he's not that bad against lefties either. So 57, 60 contact to power. So if we wanted to have him be our backup first baseman that can kind of take over the McBroom role, he might be able to do that. And we could call Ryan McBroom down. Because currently we don't have a AAA first baseman. That's something to think about. Or you could just go ahead and give Nick Prado the call up, which I think would be smart to do. The guy actually didn't have that bad of a AA season last year. But I think we based all of our decisions in the offseason based on the idea that this is what we were going to do. We were going to have McBroom, we were going to have O'Hearn, we were going to have the 2 Ryans at first base. I think what we're going to have to do, guys, we're going to have to call down either Keller or Lynch. That's really what it comes down to for me. And the one saving grace for Daniel Lynch is that he's a lefty. Because right now, all we've got as a lefty specialist, per se, is Chris Bubic in the bullpen. That's it. Because Lacy's going to be in our starting rotation. Plus, you've got Paxton as another lefty in that rotation. So I think that's the saving grace for Daniel Lynch. But when you look at his numbers compared to Brad Keller, Keller's a 99 break compared to 54. He's a 51 control to 56. Velocity 81 to 76. Stamina pretty close together. Home runs per 9 84 to 51. Walks per 9 58 to 54. K per 9 70 for Lynch, 43 for Keller. Hits per 9 goes to Lynch as well. So it's a very tough call no matter how you slice it. Personally, I think that Brad Keller, even with the 80 stamina, I think he's just electric with the velocity. He can get up to 93. I think that's the conservative amount though. But that break with a slider, a sinker, and a change, I think that's really effective in the bullpen. And Daniel Lynch, he's got all the potential in the world to be a good pitcher, a solid rotation pitcher with that A potential. I think he's got some things to work on as far as peripherals there and his attributes in that circle. And I think Brad Keller has built himself up to being a very solid major league pitcher. I just don't know if it's for a long period of time in a game. 6 innings, 5 innings. I think you use Brad Keller in short bursts, and you're going to get a lot out of him. Plus, he's got a B potential. He's not going to grow as fast as Daniel Lynch is. So, even though Daniel Lynch is a lefty, he can provide that for us. I don't know how many spots we're going to be in where we have to use a left-handed pitcher, and if we do, it's got to be Bubic, you know? And the good thing about having a guy like Bubic and a guy like Keller in the bullpen, so hear me out here. So we get into a situation where we need a lefty, and absolutely need a lefty. You could tell Bubic, hey, dude, you got to be our lefty specialist. Or you can tell Lacy on an off day to say, hey, Asa, you got to come in and be our lefty specialist because Bubic pitched the other day and he's wore out, so you got to be our lefty specialist. Basically, your start's going to be scratched. You do that, and guess what? You have Brad Keller in the back end that can come in and spot start, right? So you still have that opportunity for you to use those guys as like flex roles. So I think Keller is going to be the guy in the bullpen. I think Lynch is going to be the guy that gets moved down to AAA. I just think that's the best move for the team and the club. And I also forgot to mention, guys, we also have Jackson Kowar back here too. So not only do you have Bubic, you have Kowar and Keller who can go long distances in games. They're basically starters. I love making my bullpen like that because these guys they're going to be effective back there in that back end. I think that's just a solid idea. Again, lefty specialist, Bubic comes in, and if you've already used him and he's gassed, then you say, Asa Lacy, you're rested up. You be our lefty specialist today. You're probably not using James Paxton as your lefty specialist to get a big lefty bat out of the game, right? So you're using Lacy or Bubic, and then of course you can spot start Kowar, you can spot start Keller. So there's some options there. All right, guys. So here we are at opening day. We are going to be traveling to Cincinnati against Luis Castillo. Should be a good game. And then in the second game of that series, we're actually going to get Sonny Gray and James Paxton along with Cueto and Tyler Mahle. So it's going to be a good series. I want to get the month of April totally simulated in that next episode. So we'll have a couple games here, maybe against Baltimore. I think that would be kind of a cool matchup. Maybe the Angels would be pretty sweet. But definitely we'll show opening day for the Royals and opening day across baseball. So not only are we going to show Cincinnati Singer against Castillo, I think we should show this game definitely as it's opening day for Kauffman Stadium. So we'll definitely get this matchup against Oakland. I'm thinking we'll probably get 3 games in. We'll get the game here on the 7th against Cincinnati. We'll get this game against Oakland. And I think, just depending on who's doing what, these are some pretty cool matchups. I like Kansas City, Baltimore. That would be kind of cool to watch. Maybe Kansas City, Houston, take on the World Series champions. Really test our mettle, see how good we really are. Speaking of which, I totally screwed up that quick manage That's the reason they probably won the World Series, dang it. So kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. But let me kind of preview the roster. I know we just kind of talked about that a little bit, but this is your starting rotation and then your bullpen for the Kansas City Royals here this season. You got Lacey here as the number 5, and then Junis is the number 4. I think it's a decent staff. I think in comparison to other teams around the league, you know, it's not going to knock your socks off, but it's going to hang in there. It's going to hang in there with some teams. We're not the greatest here. Now look at this. This is what we'd be stacking up against. The Padres, right? Lamet, Snell, Clevenger, Musgrove, Darvish, all high 80s. And then you've got the freaking Dodgers here. Oh my God. Tony Gonsolin, May, Urias, Walker Buehler, Trevor Bauer. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So we're kind of in the mix of the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks. So we're kind of middle of the road in our pitching staff right now. But, you know, we've got some things going for it. Right, we've got some young guys here in the back of the pen too to worry about. So worry about their development. Looking here at the Storm Chasers, so the AAA level. Again, we want to monitor some of these guys. Definitely Daniel Lynch. We want to see how he's doing. Shane Baz, Cade Cavalli. Make sure that those guys are doing well and progressing nicely. Got Chad Kuhl here in the bullpen as well. So I was really hoping that he could find himself into a starter role. But, you know, maybe we end up swapping these guys. I think that that's probably the best way to go. Chad Kuhl replaces Scott Blewett. So I always make fun of Scott Blewett because, you know, that's a pretty bad pitcher's name, right? Just like Homer Bailey. Like, what? Bad joke. Dad joke. AA level. The Naturals. Jonathan Bolin, Ronald Bolanos, Foster Griffin, Zach Hake, Andres Sotilit. And then you've got your bullpen here. Sean Santana was one of our draft picks, so I'm anxious to see how he's going to do in simulation. Then Grant Gavin is going to be our closer. I don't know why he was at a double setup role, but that's the rotation for both big league and minor league level. Now let's take a look at the lineups here real quick, and I want to get to major league level here first and foremost. So this is what our lineup is going to look like, guys. And actually, I think it's cool that the CPU decided to do it this way, because I think that Javi Baez would be a nice number 2 hitter. I know, crazy, right? Crazy, right? Listening to that, like 226, 203, you think he's a number 2 hitter? I mean, technically you could get like Benintendi as your number 2 guy. Get a switch guy with Mondesi, get a lefty here. But I think that the power for Baez is just too good to pass up on. Like, I'll take a solo home run from Baez in the number 2 spot if that means Whit Merrifield can get on and do some damage there. But, you know, by far, Merrifield's our best overall rounded and well-rounded hitter, but he's not going to hit a ton of home runs. So you get a guy like that that's batting number 3, he's not likely to drive in a bunch of runs. So you want power where you can find it early with this lineup, and I think that's what Baez is going to be able to do in this spot. You know, it's a risk-reward. It's really a risk-reward type of play. Mondesi gets on, Baez gets out. You got Merrifield, Soler to kind of knock him in here. He's got speed. You're really just trying to roll the dice here at the number 2 spot. So, you know, you put Baez down at like 5, 6, 7. You're not doing him any justice there for at least for your team and your lineup there. But this is what we're rolling with, guys. This is what we're looking like. When you look at right field right now, I don't know if Naquin has earned the job. I love Tyler Naquin. I hope that this year he does a little bit better than he did last year. 226, 17 homers, struck out a bunch, 111. It's not bad. It could have been better, but, you know, Hunter Dozier kind of provided the same thing, but he had 137 strikeouts, 227, 17 bombs, 64 ribbies. The only thing is that I think these guys, you know, Naquin provides another left-handed at bat against righties. Dozier, you know, what do you want to do there, right? So against righties, you got 63 contact, 61 power for Naquin, and then Dozier's just kind of hanging in there, right? 60 contact, 71 power. I think it's got to be Dozier. I think Dozier's got to be our right fielder. As unfortunate as it is, I think until Dozier proves that he needs to get kicked out of the lineup, I think Tyler Naquin's going to have to sit the bench. Taking a look real quick at the AAA level lineup, we've got Isbel, Mejia, Olivares, Mendoza's in the cleanup spot, Bobby Witt down there at the number 6 slot. And then looking against lefties, I'm actually surprised that Brooks Ratto is not getting a lot of playing time as a top 50 prospect. So that is something that I definitely want to monitor. I want to be able to like get him into games. I think maybe even, you know, we might consider moving Ratto for Guzman. He's a better hitter than Guzman is as far as power goes. Contact is 30-34, but he is going to provide you some pop, right? So maybe we do stick like Ratto as the DH against left-handers. He's got 71 power. Maybe that's what he does. I kind of like that idea, actually. He's going to be a DH. He's not going to get out there in the field. Does he play better defense out there? He does play some good defense. 68-78. Left fielder, right fielder Isbel, center fielder Olivares with the 80 speed. Ratto's got 74 speed. I think he's fine. He'll be fine as a DH for now, and we'll see how he does there. Double-A, you know, there's just some things with Double-A that some of these guys I don't know a whole lot about. So as far as like Brady Erker getting some starting time, he's just not good enough right now to play. I would like to see him eventually like progress and when he does get in, actually compete for a starting job one day. But Isaac Lopez, I'm going to get it right. Isaac Lopez at third. He's got a battle against Brett Bewley. And so far, I mean, the power numbers are all there. The defense is pretty consistent there. I think he's deserving of a start there, I think. So, guys, that is going to do it for today's episode of the Kansas City Royals franchise. Leave a like if you like this thing. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next one later on this week. We have a 3-game special against the Cincinnati Reds in Great American Ballpark. Opening day across baseball. And then we're going to take a look at opening day for Kansas City against Oakland. And then any one of these games in these 3 series. It's either going to be Baltimore, Houston, 4 series, I should say, Angels or Milwaukee. It just depends on how these teams are playing. I want to see what interesting storylines we can find out there. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys. We saw a little mini preview of the lineups for both Major League and minor league systems and the pitching rotations as well. I think it's going to be a very, very solid year for the Kansas City Royals in 2022. I think we are primed and ready to compete and challenge for the AL Central. Are we going to win it? Still a lot left to be analyzed on that front. So I think we are a few moves away from that. Our pitching staff, namely, is something that's got to develop pretty quickly if we want to win a division here by 2023, maybe 2024. But I think we're heading in the right direction with a lot of good additions, and I think we have a good strategy. And we'll just have to see how it flows in gameplay, and we'll have to see how it flows in CPU simulation. So, guys, it's going to do it. Leave a like if you like this thing. I'll see you in the next one. As always, thank you for watching, and peace.